Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call this first meeting of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York of this academic year to order. I'd like to read the following notice, which has also been distributed into the record. The meetings of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York are open to the public, and the Board welcomes the interest of those who attend. The public has ample opportunity to communicate with the Board. Public hearings on the Board's policy calendar are scheduled 1 week prior to the Board's regular meetings, and members of the public who wish to communicate with the Board are invited to express their views at such public hearings. Furthermore, the Board holds additional public hearings each year in all of the 5 boroughs at which members of the public may also speak. In addition, written communications to the Board are distributed to all trustees. The Board must carry out the functions assigned to it by law and therefore cannot tolerate conduct by members of the public that disrupts its meetings. In the event of disruptions, including noise, which interferes with Board discussion, after appropriate warning, I will ask the security staff to remove persons engaging in disruptive conduct. The university may seek disciplinary and/or criminal sanctions against persons who engage in conduct that violates the university's rules or state laws which prohibit interference with the work of public bodies. I would like to request that everyone take a moment to switch off his or her cell phones, alarm clocks, whatever else. Thank you. We're grateful to CUNY TV for making available an important community service by transmitting the public sessions of this afternoon's meeting of the Board of Trustees live on cable channel 75. This meeting is also being webcast live and can be accessed by going to www.cuny.edu. Future meetings of the Board will also be webcast live. The public session of this Board meeting will be available as a podcast within 24 hours and can also be accessed via the CUNY website. Our first order of business this afternoon is to offer an enthusiastic welcome to President Tomas Morales of the College of Staten Island to this, his first meeting of the Board of Trustees as President. Judging by the extraordinarily warm reception he received at a well-attended gala at Snug Harbor Cultural Center on September 18th, hosted by Borough President James Molinaro, Staten Island Advance Editor Brian Lalline, and the boards of the Staten Island Economic Development Corporation and the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Morales has clearly hit the ground running. Keep up the good work, President Morales. I'd also like to welcome Interim Vice Chancellor Gloriana Waters to this meeting of the Board. Your longtime service to CUNY and your leadership in your new capacity are much appreciated, Vice Chancellor. Congratulations to our fellow trustee and deputy mayor, Carol Robles Roman, who was recently honored by the National Association of Women Lawyers at their annual lunch in the Waldorf Astoria Hotel on August 2nd. Congratulations, Trustee Robles Roman. I would also like to congratulate Trustee Rita DiMartino, who recently attended an international leadership conference sponsored by the Universal Peace Federation in Seoul, Korea. She served as a speaker at the plenary session. Congratulations, Trustee DiMartino. And we want to commend our fellow trustee, Hugo Morales, on his successful efforts to bring President Leonel Fernandez of the Dominican Republic to City College and Hostos Community College last week in celebration of the special student exchange program underway with his help. Our congratulations to all involved with this program, and to you, Dr. Morales. Trustees have received by email and by hard copy a calendar of events to help all of us take part in the many CUNY activities scheduled for this fall. I know this will help you in planning for your participation. Now, on a sad note, I would like to note the passing of Mr. John Benici, Sr. He was the loving father of our trustee, John S. Benici, and he died earlier this month. On behalf of the board, John, I want to extend our deepest sympathies to you and to your family. I'd also like to note with deep condolence the passing of Leonard Leaf, president of Herbert H. Lehman College, from its founding in 1968 until 1990. Dr. Leaf began his CUNY career in 1955 as a professor of English, and he did outstanding work at this university for many years. His vision of quality and opportunity for Lehman College endures today, and the naming of the Leonard Leaf Library by the board last year is a fitting tribute to his exemplary work at Lehman. On behalf of the board, I want to extend our deepest sympathies to his family. Also, I understand that President Ricardo Fernandez and Lehman College are planning a memorial service. We will make the details available to all of you at the appropriate time. Finally, I would like to note the passing of Dr. Carolyn Goodman, mother of Andrew Goodman, the Queens College student who was slain in Mississippi while pursuing voting rights for black Americans. Politically active until she was 90, Dr. Goodman was herself a great icon of civil rights. She graduated from CUNY with a master's degree in clinical psychology in 1953. On behalf of the board, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to her family. Now may I call on Trustee Valerie Beal to announce college and faculty honors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Baruch College Harmon Writer-in-Residence for the spring 2008 semester, Charles Simic was recently named the 15th Poet Laureate of the United States. He joins Professor Bill Collins of Lehman College in this unique distinction. Professor Collins, as you may know, was the U.S. Poet Laureate in 2001. CUNY is the only university that I know of to host two U.S. Poet Laureates to host two U.S. Poet Laureates. Congratulations. Baruch College Professor Gail Levin's book, Edward Hopper, An Intimate Biography, was selected by the Wall Street Journal as one of the 5 best artist biographies ever. Also, Associate Professor of Public Affairs Robert C. Smith won the 2007 Robert E. Park Book Award for his book, Mexican New York, Transitional Lives of New Immigrants. Congratulations. John Jay College Adjunct Professor Michael Mansfield was appointed by Mayor Michael Bloomberg as Chairman of the Business Integrity Commission. He currently serves as the Executive Assistant District Attorney for the operations at Queens District Attorney's Office. Congratulations. Distinguished Professor of Public Health at Hunter College and Social Personality Psychology at the Graduate Center, Dr. Nicholas Frudenberg was awarded the 2007 Morton Deutsch Conflict Resolution Award by the American Psychological Association Society for the study of peace, conflict, and violence. Congratulations. Hunter College Assistant Professor of Physics and Astronomy, Dr. Nipa Matra, was named a 2007 Cottrell Scholar by Research Corporation and received an award of $100,000 for her research and teaching. Congratulations. This concludes my report.
Thank you very much. May I call on Trustee John Benici to announce student and alumni honors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 14 Hostos Community College nursing students were awarded a total of $35,000 in scholarships from the New York City Council of Nursing. They were selected on the basis of their academic standing and faculty recommendations. Congratulations. Night News Queens College student paper, was named a finalist for the ACP Pacemaker Award for their 2006 issue on corruption. Congratulations. Hunter College audiology doctorate student Rivka Strom was awarded a $100,000 Communicative Disorders Scholarship from Satoma International. Congratulations. Hunter College student and All-American wrestler Terry Madden received a gold medal at the International Canada Cup Games in Ontario by winning the freestyle 185-pound class a few days after graduating from the college. Congratulations. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. You have a list of grants and gifts received by the university subsequent to the June 25th, 2007 meeting at the table, and the copy is in the trustees' calendar book. I'd like now to call on Chancellor Goldstein to present his update on recent activities at the university.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, too, would like to send a warm welcome to Dr. Morales and to alert everybody here that we are hosting a reception on October 9th at the Harold Pratt House. All of you are invited, and we look forward to a celebratory evening as Dr. Morales returns to the City University in a very distinguished role. I would like to, I have a very lengthy report, and I apologize for that, but there's so much has happened since we last met. I would like to start with a brief statement about enrollment at the university, and then I'm going to shift to a series of tables that are at your I was going to say workstations, at your table, just giving a glimpse on some things that we haven't talked about in quite some time. We continue to reach record enrollment. We have a 32-year high enrollment of over 230,000 students, an increase of 2.5% over last fall. Total enrollment has grown nearly 19% since 1999, an 8-year streak of year after year enrollment growth. There are very few campuses, Mr. Chairman, that I think that can boast that kind of continuous enrollment increases, and we're obviously delighted by that. Undergraduate enrollment at both the senior colleges and the community colleges is up 3.1% from the same time last year. First-time freshman enrollment increased 4.3%. That breaks up about 3.4% at the senior colleges and 5.6% at the community colleges. And if you wouldn't mind taking these tables that I have distributed to you, and we can go through some more data very quickly. I would like to really hold some questions, if you don't mind. We're planning at the next CAPRA meeting, which will happen in November, to have a little more data and to have a spirited discussion on any of the items that people would like to ask about. First-time freshmen is up about 35.5% from 1999 to 2007. I'm looking at Table 1 now. Transfers are up about 48%. Total undergraduates up, as I said, 20.6%, and total headcount enrollment up just shy of 19% through 2007. When we look at first-time freshman enrollment and we parse the data, cut the data by race and ethnicity, the results are really very, very interesting and important. At our community colleges, and the best, we don't have 2007 data on race and ethnicity yet. We will have it in a couple of weeks, and certainly we'll have more to say about it at the November meeting. But you can see the change in the ethnic and racial groups at the university across community colleges and the senior colleges. Overall, Asian enrollment has increased by 50% since 1999. The bases are much smaller. African American, a little under 21%. Hispanic enrollment, a little under 37%. White enrollment, just a touch under 22%. If you turn to Figure 1 on the third slide, you could see the monotone increasing function on enrollment starting in 1999, and those increases are really quite impressive and something that I think all of us could be very proud of. Table 3 is a very interesting table, something that we will talk about in much greater detail at the CAPRA meeting in November. I was interested in what is happening in the high schools, what is happening for residents of New York City in the age cohort 18 to 24 with high school diplomas, and what is happening in the New York City public schools with students taking the SAT exam. And if you look across the first row, 12th graders in the New York public schools, you see what the distribution is on African American, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and white students across the first row. 18 to 24-year-old New York City residents with a high school diploma. You can see some very interesting trends there as well across ethnic and racial groups and the comparisons between the 12th graders in New York City public schools, and the percentage of students scoring over 900 on the SAT. We would, most places would talk about 900 as being a point of college readiness, both at some four-year baccalaureate institutions and certainly at the community colleges, and we see those patterns happening there as well. The rest of the CUNY Community College first-time freshmen, senior college first-time freshmen are given in the first couple of tables in slightly different ways, but the data, I would just ask you just reflect on that for a while, and we're going to parse these data a little more to really give some insight in what we face as we recruit students to come to this great university. Table 4 is an interesting schedule of enrollment at the CUNY Language Immersion Program. For those of you who may not be familiar with the CUNY Language Immersion Program, this has the acronym CLIP. These are for ESL students, typically weaker ESL students. These are given 4 cycles every year, and you can see since 1999 the impressive increase of students that are in the CLIP program. These are for students where English is not their native language, and it is a very effective, proven modality of instruction that really helps our students get through the difficulties they may have in reading and communicating and general writing in English, and has been an enormous success. And much of the work, Dean John Mogilescu and his staff have really carried this ball for academic affairs for some time, and they've been doing a wonderful job. Table 5 is about College Now enrollment. College Now is a very innovative program, and I must tell you that it's being embraced now at the Commission on Higher Education to see if what CUNY has done in College Now might turn out to be a good model statewide. And I know President Marti's committee that I'll talk about in just a minute is really making that suggestion. And Eduardo, I think you're right on the mark. and it's a wonderful suggestion. If you see what has happened since 2000 to now, the impressive increase in students enrolled in college now. These are free courses. This is bifurcated between two particular kinds of cohorts: students that are needing remedial instruction to get them ready to take the college entrance exams at CUNY, and the other cohort of students that are much more advanced in their studies and can come and take classes with college students here at CUNY. It's an extraordinary, impressive program, and is probably the best example of the true integration between a university and the schools in partnership, and we're really very proud of that. The Table 6, the next table is a very important table, but it's very subtle. And let me just give you the subtlety. This is about the University Skills Immersion Program. All of you know that we have a two-stage process for getting into our baccalaureate programs. We have a process whereby we use indexing, which is composed of an SAT score, high school average, numbers of college preparatory courses, and mathematics and English, and some other indicators as well. That gets the student consideration into a baccalaureate program, and then we give them 3 examinations. Unless they have an SAT score that is higher than what is deemed appropriate at that particular level, or through our Compass test, or through a Regents examination. The students that take the Skills Immersion Program take this in the summertime, and whatever the area of need is, whether it is in reading or in writing or in quantitative material, these are the students that have this very intensive program over the summertime, and if they pass out of remediation in September, they're ready to enter a baccalaureate program. The interesting part about these data is that the cohort of about 14,600 has been constant now for several years, while enrollment has exploded. And the takeaway from that observation is that more and more students are coming to the university well prepared to take the freshman tests or to get a surrogate for passing the freshman test. And I think that is a very, very important takeaway here, because what we'd like to do is to eliminate the University Skills Immersion Program, and what is happening is that fewer and fewer students relative to the base that is coming in are needing those courses. The slide number 7 is about SAT scores at a group of our baccalaureate institutions, and you can see the mean SAT scores now in 07 are about 1117 at these campuses. I must say, and I don't want to mention one campus over another, but there are a few campuses now where that increase since 1999 has been about 125 points. That is a very impressive number, and the high school averages have been going up as well. And Mr. Chairman, I think the slide that I am most really most delighted about, and I say that I am confident that we stand alone with respect to this slide, is the very last slide. And again, each of these are just very, very quick glimpses. We need, obviously, to dig deeper. This slide represents the number of new faculty hires. These are faculty that at the assistant professor and above. For 2007, we are just at 800 hires this year alone, and it splits between new positions of about 322 and replacement positions of 474. As a result of we being successful where the compact has really been the vehicle to generate additional resources. The pledge that we have made is that we are pumping those dollars into one of our highest priorities, which is full-time faculty, and for this institution to hire 800 faculty not only is an enormously impressive datum, but it shows the resolve of our presidents and chief academic officers, the faculty who work so hard visiting scholarly associations, other universities to encourage young faculty and more senior faculty to join this institution. I'm really very proud, Mr. Chairman, and I really want to compliment the leadership on our campuses for working as hard to secure this many hires. I've never seen numbers of this magnitude. And looking over the vitae of some of the faculty, and I don't want to sound too that I spend a lot of time looking deeply at this, but of the many vitas that I've looked at, they are an impressive group of women and men, and something that really does us proud. So I congratulate all of our presidents and the other leadership on the campuses for making this happen. We will increase the number of slides to delve more deeply in these various data, and again in November we'll go into it in a little more detail. Let me switch to the Commission on Higher Education, which is taking a lot of the time of many people in this room. This is a commission that was established by Governor Spitzer. We are very well represented on that commission. Aside from myself, I am joined by Trustee Mark Shaw, who serves on the Finance and Capital Committee and has made very impressive, has given very impressive insight into that area that is critically important. President Eduardo Marti chairs the Workforce Economic Development Committee, and he can attest to how much time he is spending as a committee chair. President Marcia Keyes is a member of the Access K-12 Partnership Committee. Our own distinguished Professor Robert Paswell of CCNY is on the commission. Lauren Tallerman, a member of the Macaulay Honors College at Queens College, is the student representative. I am chairing the Committee on Operating Finance, Tuition, and Financial Aid, and have been co-chairing the Capital Committee with SUNY Interim Chancellor John Clark. I must say, Mr. Chairman, that Ernesto Malave, who is one of the members of the staff to the committee, along with David Crook and Jane Sovereign, are the ones that are really doing extraordinary work. Being a member of the commission is one thing, but the work of this commission really resides heavily with the staff, and I have seen these three members of our executive team really taking such a strong leadership role on this impressive group of men and women, and I really want to give thanks and I just got a note from Selma Botman that John Garvey is also a contributor, so thank you, John. Let me, and we will be reporting out on an interim basis shortly, I would say within the next couple of months, and hopefully the recommendations that we will make will have an impact on the governor's executive budget, which will be very important for us, and then other recommendations will be made with respect to more long-term policy decisions for both SUNY and CUNY. We will be coming to the board in November with a recommendation for our operating budget needs and our capital needs. The strategy that we have taken this year, which is somewhat different than we have taken in the past, is trying to work very early with the executive to the governor and the governor's principal advisors to try to indicate early on what our needs are, and hopefully that message has now been received. I've worked very hard over the summer with the top people in DOB and the governor's top advisors to inform them of what we would like to see in the governor's executive budget and the need for true investment. And that message, I think, is getting across, and it's certainly getting across through the commission as well. And all of you know that we use the master plan as our document to serve as the roadmap from which we apply the compact and then extract the actual dollars to format the compact associated with the strictures in the master plan. This go around with the decade of the science as being so prominent with us both on the capital side and on the operating side, we will be looking for over 100 new faculty just in the STEM disciplines alone, and many other faculty across in the humanities and the social sciences, the fine arts, and things of that particular nature. We will be looking for startup funds for new faculty, fellowships for doctoral students, and high-end instrumentation as well. We will be spending a lot of time on targeted needs in counseling. We've seen some horrific events over the past few years at some campuses around the United States, and it just reinforces the needs of some students that may be quite troubled and don't know how to communicate or know how to get assistance and guidance. And I think it's necessary for us to start bolstering our counseling areas in these targeted ways. Instructional technology continues to be something that is deeply needed here at this university, upgrading CUNY's infrastructure. This is an area with enormous needs, and we're going to be very aggressive. I don't know if we will be successful, but the board will see a budget message that will be much more aggressive given relative to what we've seen in the past. And hopefully, if this commission's voice, if the voices are heard and the governor makes recommendations consistent with those recommendations, we should be in a very strong position. I only temper these areas of optimism by alerting all of you to something that you all know. The past 12 years, this state has benefited from higher expected revenues, largely driven by the performance of the financial services industry and industries associated with the financial services industry. You know that really starting in May, I mean, we started to hear about this and started to see some softness, and it started to really rear its ugly head in July and August this summer, where the fixed income area, the debt markets, really started to implode with many of these very sophisticated financial instruments that were backed by spurious and financial instruments that really had high risk associated with it, much more so than many people realized, and there were really things spinning out of control. The Fed jumped in twice once on the discount window and the Fed rate, and that has helped to stabilize things, but it is still an unknown question with respect to how this is going to affect revenues at the state. If you look at public announcements recently by Paul Francis, the director of the budget, and Elliot Spitzer, our governor, they are saying just the things that we're saying here. So it is a watch and see for us, and we will have a little more clarity as to how all of this is going to affect the revenues with the state, and certainly that will have a direct impact on what this governor believes is a prudent way of constructing an executive budget. We do know that the governor has recommended a new chairman of the board for SUNY, Carl Hayden. Carl Hayden is someone the chairman and I know very well. He was instrumental to this university when he was a very strong supporter when we were going through the amendment to our master plan as a result of the actions taken by the board in 1999. He has been a close friend and a counsel. I know the chairman and I are really delighted of a man of his stature will be leading SUNY, and hopefully that will happen soon, and we will continue to work well with SUNY. I must say, and to the board and the presidents have heard me on this, that for the first time in a long time there is a very close, open relationship between CUNY and SUNY. We are marching in unison on so many areas that I think are critically important to us, and we see this at the Commission as well, and I think that can only bode well for us. On the city side, we started with the first cohort of ASAP students. This is this new program that was funded by Mayor Bloomberg for $20 million, and we have put our head way out on the block here. Our community college presidents have done exemplary work working with Selma Botman, and I am confident a lot of people have heard about ASAP, are going to watch this very carefully, and if it works, I am confident that this will result in a cascading of opportunities for our community colleges and others around the country as they see what is possible with respect to community college graduation rates. We are obviously working with the mayor, the deputy mayors, and staff as we think about the importance of and the opportunities in the mayor's budget, that we are working with the budget director, the council, city council speaker, and the staff of the council. So we have a lot of work ahead to do. On the federal side, President Bush has on his desk, and we expect that he's going to sign some major legislation changing Pell Grants and Stafford loans in ways that I think can benefit CUNY students in very, very dramatic ways. Many of you know that the maximum Pell Grant now is about $4,310. By 2012 to 2013, if the President signs this bill, that maximum will go up to $5,400. On the Stafford loans, the interest rate currently is about 6.8% on loans to students. That is going to go gradually down to about 3.4% in fiscal year 2011 through 2012. When you factor in all of the Stafford loan and the forgiveness program associated with that and the Pell Grants, we believe it's going to have a dramatic effect on CUNY. The increase in the schedule of Pell Awards would result in a total of approximately $50 million annually in additional funds to CUNY. And when you disaggregate that on a per capita basis, the vast majority of CUNY Pell recipients would receive an average increase of about $500 annually. And for many of our students, that is a significant increase in their ability to pay their bills. And I'm not going to go into all of the other components of that, but it is very good news. We are going to have a CUNY on the Hill, a meeting with the New York congressional delegation, supported by Van Scoyoc, and we expect many of our presidents to be with us on October 24th. We expect many members of the congressional delegation to be there, and hopefully we can use this as a centerpiece for advocacy for a number of areas that we hope to achieve. On the self-generating of income here at the university, when the chairman and I stood up a little over 4 years ago and we said that CUNY was going to start a campaign of $1.2 billion, everybody, not everybody, many people scoffed at us, and I'm proud to say that is my expectation that by March we will have hit the $1.2 billion. And that's really that is a tribute to our presidents and all of the work that has happened throughout this university, our faculty, our students, our alumni, this board, trying to convince many people who have graduated from this institution and others of the importance of investing in this university. That's a pretty big deal for us. I'm not going to go through all of the college rankings that we have had. I have a list that goes on here, and it is a very impressive set of rankings from Newsweek, from Kaplan College Guide to the Princeton Review to U.S. News and World Report. It goes on and on and on. It is just a great tribute to all of the work that all of you do, and we just couldn't be more delighted by the outcome of those. And if any of you want a list, I will send you a list of all of these wonderful awards. I will conclude, Mr. Chairman, by saying a number of people in this room will be given honors over the next several weeks. Let me start with Jay Hershenson, who will be honored at the Dominican Times Magazine 2007 Latino Trendsetter Award Dinner for his outstanding achievements, leadership, and service to the Hispanic community through his work at CUNY. I'd like to congratulate President Rabb on the news that the Cornell Medical School hospital-led consortium, which includes Hunter College as an important partner, was awarded one of the multi-million-dollar National Institutes of Health translational grants, and that was a great tribute to Hunter being right at the center of this, and congratulate you, President Rabb. President Marcia Keyes, congratulations on your selection by Congressman Gregory Meeks to receive a congressional award during his annual gala on October 5th. We congratulate President Ricardo Fernandez on his selection by the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, HACU, to receive the President's Award of Excellence at their annual conference on October 21st. Congratulate President Jeremy Travis on his invitation to join the Board of Trustees of the Urban Institute. We commend, congratulations, we commend President Carolyn Williams on her appointment by Mayor Bloomberg to serve as a member of the Administrative Board of the Port Morris Empire Zone. And lastly, President Gail Mello will be the convener of the 3rd Annual Women's Leadership Conference on Friday, November 16th, co-sponsored by the New York Times, Knowledge Network, TIAA, CREF, and J.P. Morgan Chase. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that very informative report. Are there comments or questions for the Chancellor based on his report? Well, I think there's time for one more congratulations. What you've described is a university system that has increased its full-time freshman enrollment by 35% over 8 years, while increasing academic standards on virtually all of its campuses, while increasing the enrollment of all the major racial and ethnic minority groups we serve, and in a time of overall, over that period, a time of budget stringency and lack of strong budget support, an increase in the full-time faculty from 5,000 to about 6,700, namely an increase in the full-time faculty of over a third in that period as well. And we shouldn't spend much time here patting each other on the back. That's not the role of the Board of Trustees. But it is necessary to say that there is not a public university system in the country that has a record of movement that is even close to as impressive as the movement of the City University of New York over these years. And I only want to say that because everyone around this table has works hard, and the work is difficult, and we all have a lot of other things pressing on us. So we ought to just take a moment to thank you and your leadership team for a literally unequaled record of progress over these past 8 years. It's a very impressive achievement to be the university system in the country that has gained the most on these fundamental points of academic and institutional strength. So let's give our Chancellor and all his colleagues I promise I won't embarrass you again. If there are no other questions, comments for the Chancellor, we can turn to the policy items requiring a vote if you're ready. Number one, I will move the adoption of the Chancellor's University Report for September 24th, 2007. You have a copy of this report on the table. May I have a second? Second. Are there questions or comments about the university report? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries. Next, I'd like to move the approval of the minutes, nearly 50 pages worth of rich discussion, of the regular board meeting and executive session of June 25th, 2007. You'll find a copy of this tome in your board book. Have you had a chance to look at it? Any revisions or changes? No? May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions. Thank you very much. Let's turn next to the committee reports. I'd like to call first on the Committee on Faculty, Staff, and Administration. Trustee Valerie Beal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Committee on Faculty, Staff, and Administration presents the following items for consideration by the Board of Trustees. I will present items 3A through 3Y together and present the remaining items separately. Items 3A through 3Y are a series of naming resolutions at Baruch College that are being presented to ensure compliance with university policy. The items are as follows. Item 3A, the naming of the Barnard and Rosalind Ansel classroom. Item 3B, the naming of the Stanley Becker Meeting Room. Item 3C, the naming of the Max Berger classroom. 3D, the naming of Kevin and Karen Boyle classroom. 3E, the naming of Daniel Klivner Lecture Hall. 3F, the naming of the Brian Lambros David classroom. 3G, the naming of the Rosalind and Irwin Engelman Reading Room. 3H, the naming of the Rosalind and Irwin Engelman Recital Hall. 3I, the naming of the Donald Gaby Study Room. 3J, the naming of the Arnold A. Gruber Study Room. 3K, the naming of the Martin Kaplan Classroom. 3L, the naming of the Sidney Lertzman Financial Seminar Room. 3M, the naming of the Walton Nayland Recital Hall. 3N, the naming of the Israel and Marie Rakow Conference Room. 3O, the naming of the M. Freddie Reese Classroom. 3P, the naming of the Michael Roth Classroom. 3Q, the naming of the Samuel and Joanne Ryan Classroom. 3R, the naming of the Emmanuel Sachs Lecture Hall. 3S, the naming of the Aaron and Elaine Abrams Schneider Study Room. Schnechter Study Room. 3T, the naming of the Robert Schnell Classroom. 3U, the naming of the Bernard Schwartz Communications Lab. 3V, the naming of the Subanik Financial Services Center. 3W, the naming of the Bert and Sandra Wasserman Trading Floor. 3X, the naming of the Silke Weiss Lecture Hall. And 3Y, the naming of the Harold and Sheila Wazinski Classroom. Mr. Chair, I present items 3A through 3Y for the board's approval.
Thank you very much. May I have a second?
Second.
Comments on the rooms or the names? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 3Z, the establishment of the Clara and Larry Silverstein Dean of Hunter College School of Education. Clara and Larry Silverstein have pledged $1 million to the Hunter College Foundation, Inc. to establish and permanently endow the named Dean of the Hunter College School of Education. Clara Abbott Silverstein, class of 1954, received a BA degree in social sciences and an MA in special education from Hunter College. She is a member of the Hunter College Hall of Fame and is co-chair of the Board of Trustees for the Hunter College Foundation. Her husband, Larry A. Silverstein, is president and CEO of Silverstein Properties, Inc., a real estate development and investment firm. The Silversteins have been generous contributors to Hunter College, and this extraordinary gift will support Hunter's national recognized School of Education and its mission of preparing urban educators. Mr. Chair, I present items 3Z for the board's approval.
May I have a second?
Second.
Comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Thank you. Item 3AA, the naming of the Ruth and Harold Newman Dean of the Hunter College School of Arts and Sciences. Ruth and Harold Newman have pledged a total of $2 million to the Hunter College Foundation to establish and permanently endow the Ruth and Harold Newman Dean of the Hunter College School of Arts and Sciences, and to fund the Ruth and Harold Newman Dean's Civic Engagement Initiative. Ruth B. Newman graduated from Hunter College cum laude in 1954 with a BA in Spanish. She is a member of the Hunter College Visioning Cabinet and has been actively involved with the Hunter College Mentoring Program. The Newmans have been generous contributors to Hunter College. This extraordinary gift will enable Hunter to attract and retain outstanding leadership for its School of Arts and Sciences and to mount extraordinary activities designed to encourage open inquiry, civil discourse, reasoned debate, and participation in democratic society. In addition, the Ruth and Harold Newman Civic Engagement Initiative will allow the college to engage leading public figures and visiting scholars to work with Hunter College faculty to teach courses from a variety of disciplines and methodology perspectives. Mr. Chair, I present items 3AA for the board's approval.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Item 3BB, amendment to the governance plan of City College. The proposed amendment to the City College governance plan has been approved by the CCNY College of Liberal Arts, Faculty Council, and the CCNY Faculty Senate, and is supported by the President. The amendment provides for a reduction in the number of delegates at large for the CLAS Faculty Council so that one delegate at large will be elected from each division of the CLAS. Currently, one at-large delegate is elected to represent each instructional department. This change will allow CLAS Faculty Council to conduct its business more effectively and will correspond more realistically to the number of faculty who regularly serve as delegates at large. Mr. Chair, I present item 3BB for the board's approval.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, then, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
The addendum to today's Chancellor's University report, which the board voted on earlier, contains an additional 6 naming resolutions pertaining to the Guppenberg Holocaust Resource Center at Queensborough Community College. These items were submitted after the Committee on Faculty, Staff, and Administration met on September 4, 2007. They are as follows. D87, Owen and B.B. Bernstein Wall of Remembrance. Item B88, Adam Mandelblatt Memorial Wall. Item D89, Allison Werner Levine Survivor Interview Collection. Item D90, Howard and Eileen Lapatis Reception Vesticle. Item D91, Barnes & Noble College Bookseller Cinema Institute. And item D92, Lucille and Charles Bovin Garden. Mr. Chair, the committee was also notified of changes to the executive compensation plan salary ranges, which were implemented to reflect an $800 increase for state MC employees in April of 2007. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Beal. We'll turn to the Committee on Facilities Planning and Management. May I ask Trustee Weisenfeld to present items from the committee?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The members of the Committee on Facilities Planning and Management considered 5 items at the meeting of September 4th. These items are listed in the board meeting as calendar items 4A through 4E. Item 4A is a resolution authorizing a design and build contract on behalf of Bronx Community College to install a new modular construction child care facility. Bronx Community College will install a new modular construction child care facility in order to accommodate 124 children and provide expanded child care services for the campus community. Total construction cost shall not exceed $4,446,000. Item 4B is a resolution authorizing a construction contract on behalf of Bronx Community College to renovate the campus cafeteria and bookstore. Bronx Community College will renovate the cafeteria and bookstore in the Roscoe Brown Student Center. The contract shall not exceed $2.769 million. Item 4C is a resolution authorizing a construction contract on behalf of Lehman College to install campus site and security lighting. Lehman College will install this lighting. Contract cost shall not exceed $1.3 million. Item 4D is a resolution authorizing a consultant contract with the firm of Studio A. Wank Adams Slavin Associates, LLP, for services required for the Kupferberg Center Arts Complex at Queens College. Studio A will provide architectural engineering services for an upgrade of the Kupferberg Center Arts Complex, which consists of a number of distinct facilities for the performing and visual arts. The contract shall not exceed $515,000. And finally, item 4E is a resolution approving an amendment to the LaGuardia Community College Master Plan. This completed master plan amendment proposes strategies to address the college's anticipated growth and the need to modernize facilities on campus to provide adequate instructional space and student support services. I hereby request the board's approval of these calendar items.
Thank you very much. May I have a second? Second. Any questions for the committee on items 4A through E? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Those items carry.
That concludes the report of this committee, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We'll turn next to the Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs. May I call on Trustee John Benici?
Mr. Chairman, Chair Trustee Kathleen Pasilli is out of the country, and as Vice Chair I will present the report on calendar item 5A, followed by a brief update on Vice Chancellor Moore's report presented at the September 4, 2007 Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs. The Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs has one item for the Board's approval. The committee met on September 4, 2007 and approved the following calendar item. Calendar item 5A, Kingsborough Community College, amended College Association and Auxiliary Enterprise Board bylaws. The Kingsborough Community College Association and Auxiliary Enterprise Board have each reviewed their bylaws and amended them to better reflect the corporation's current operations and needs. In accordance with Board Bylaw Section 16.10, the amended bylaws have been approved by the Kingsborough Community College President and reviewed by the University Office of General Counsel. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report on calendar item 5A.
All right. May I have a second?
Second.
Any questions for the committee? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to report that at the September 4, 2007 Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs meeting, Vice Chancellor Moore gave a comprehensive report on the status of the CUNY Leadership Academy and a recent University Student Senate National Leadership Conference that was highly praised by the USS Chairman, Robert Ramos, and other students that attended. He also reviewed the divisional goals for 2006 and 2007 and presented goals and objectives for 2007 to 2008. Finally, Vice Chancellor Moore presented a single identifying name for student affairs, that being the Division of Student Affairs. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Calendar item number 6 requires no action by the Board, but is a notice of action taken by the Board of Trustees Executive Committee on a single item recommended by the Chancellor to assist the Consortium for Worker Education in receiving authorized city funds for their workforce development initiatives entitled Jobs to Build On. The Board need take no further action, but we wanted to give you notice of the Executive Committee's action. And in addition, I'm asking Senior Vice Chancellor and Secretary Jay Hershenson to place in the record a thank you letter from the Consortium for Worker Education, which includes a concise description of the program and its benefits, and you have the letter before you around the table, so I'll ask that that be included in the record. The final item we need to vote on is item number 7, the honorary degree that is listed in your meeting book. I'm happy to move this honorary degree. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions? That carries. There being no further business to come before us, I adjourn this meeting and welcome to a new academic year.